Hello everyone. Welcome to Sharekhan Education's Trade of the Week section. In today's session, we are going to talk about one of the trade setups that we identified on 15th of March 2023. That is in our latest XLT session. And essentially, this is interesting because we entered a position during a lot of market turmoil. Now, all of us know that markets have been falling left, right, and center because of the bank collapse news, because of the interest rate hikes, so on and so forth. But what we want to highlight is that even in these type of markets, there are opportunities, there are uh, traits that are available if you know what you are doing and if you know what to look for. So here is a similar such opportunity that we identified in McDowells, uh, in which we had suggested our students to enter. If it enters a specific level, if it gets to a specific level, and we had a completely nicely planned stop loss entry and target for the trade. Now, before I get ahead in this session, let us first look at what was my thought process behind planning that trade in McDowells. Okay, so let us start with McDowells and the logic behind the trade plan of McDowells. So I'm on my daily time frame chart. I go to studies, TZI plus, and we'll mark our curve. So you're talking about this supply zone, right? I do agree, and I have planned trades like this earlier as well. But the reason I like this trade setup, despite of this, is although it is around a tested daily supply, there is still room for it to go till the upper end of the band. Okay. Who told me that? Sorry. 1 second. Yeah, Manoj Kumar. ठीक है, और वो सप्लाई जोन 766 पर भी है और 790. सो 766 to 796 का सप्लाई जोन है. वो रेंज बहुत बड़ी है. So as an intraday trader, I can capitalize on it. So I'm slightly going aggressive, you can say high on the curve. और दूसरा रीजन इसका ये है कि अगर मैं वीकली टाइम फ्रेम पर जाता हूं मैकडोवेल के, if I go to the weekly time frame chart of McDowell, do you sense me trading around the lower end of the curve? Yes or no? And if in weekly and daily, which would get slightly higher precedence? The weekly would get slightly higher precedence. So I do agree that अगर daily supply में है और weekly demand में है, ऐसा situation में if I take an intraday short trade, the stock does not give me quick results. It may base around because of that daily supply, and it may not work on the same day, but that's okay. We will have a look at it. We'll see how it plays out. और हमें लगा कि ज़्यादा basing हो रहा है, then we will take an exit. But weekly demand zone should work in my favor. 75 minutes trend in McDowell. Excellent, Manoj. 75 minutes trend in McDowell is, do you all agree, up? And in line with uptrend, I do have this 15 minutes and 30 minutes rally base rally wherein I want to go long. So 755.8, 754 is my level. I plot my entry over here, 756.30. Stop 752.40. And first target would be 2:1 is what I am aiming for. Because there is no opposing level of supply, I can keep first target at 764.20. And my current market price is 768. So it is very much within my DATR. I think DATR of McDowell is somewhere around 13 rupees. So I'm around my full DATR. Expectation is today it will gap up, and let's see how it behaves after gap up. We are going to keep this trade valid for 1 to 3 days. 1 से 3 दिन में अगर कभी भी ये जोन में एंट्री आती है, then we would be taking it. If it comes beyond that, then we would be rejecting it. It would be type 1. Yes. So now that you're clear with respect to the thought process behind planning the McDowell trade, let's try and get into the understanding of how that trade played out and what was the eventual outcome. So I'm just going to McDowell trade. As I mentioned earlier, it was a trade planned on 15th of March, and it was a daily income trade. And you would have seen me marking the level of this rally base rally. So this was the level that we had identified on 15th of March. Now this had all the ingredients of a good level that we look for. It had a nice move up with a gap in price. It had a follow through high also after the first leg out candle that we look at and that we discuss with our students. And importantly, what it also had was a new impulse move. So the prices created a new high. So we felt that if we get an opportunity in the market volatility to enter at 756 to 754 levels, then we are going to take this trade. And during the 16th of March session, as you can observe, McDowell's kind of traded down. However, it did not give us entry with markets closing at 760. But today, in the first 30 minutes itself, okay, it entered into our pre-planned demand zone. Our entry was somewhere around 756 rupees, as you would have seen in the screen, and stop loss was below 754. So I'm just going to mark the entry, stop loss, and targets a little tentatively here. And my initial target was 2:1. And I always tell students that we have a trailing methodology in place in case they wish to trail for bigger targets. They can use it with the trailing methodology that we discuss in the class. And the way this trade played out, friends, is it gave an entry, and immediately in the next session, it gave me a 2:1 reward to risk ratio. So it was a phenomenal trade considering the overall, I would say, operating in. Most of the stocks are falling. However, we got a trade which was around very, very low end of the curve on the bigger time frame chart, and it was with the trend, and it was an opportunity well captured. Post this target being achieved, okay, McDowell's didn't stop there and it continued to move up. And as I'm talking today on 16th of March, it's 1 p.m., close to 1 p.m. in the afternoon. We are seeing the stock giving more than 4:1. So somebody who used the trailing methodology that we discuss, he would have probably made 4:1. So there were two targets given. One was 2:1 and the other was trailing. And a very, very nice demonstration of what can happen when you have a plan ready beforehand. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this small video, and I look forward to see you soon in the next section again. Thank you.
This should not be treated as a recommendation. Please conduct your own analysis or consult a financial advisor before investing.